Hello and welcome to this episode of Cosmic Crow Tarot, where today I've got a new deck to share with all of you. Now this is the Raven's Dream Tarot, created by MJ Cullinane, the author and the artist behind Crow Tarot, you know, Cosmic Crow Tarot, Crow Tarot. I couldn't help the chance to have a deck that's Ravens too, because I absolutely adore Ravens as much as I adore crows. And honestly, I could have called my whole business and my whole reading thing Cosmic Raven Tarot, but come on, Cosmic Crow Tarot just has such a ring to it. And when it comes to ravens around here, they're especially rare. I've seen maybe 5 in my entire life, like actual real ravens, not the football team. That's an entire different subject. But I've seen quite a few of them here and there, but it's crows. Crows are the most prolific, most available bird around here, and they're so intelligent and everything, but ravens are just as intelligent, just as unique, and they are absolutely gorgeous. Like giant versions of crows, their call and their like sound they make, it's just beautiful. It almost sounds human. So we have the deck here in the box, and I was actually going to do this on camera because it actually says that it's reusable and tear on the dotted lines below. So I've never seen a packaging like this, and I just thought, you know, I'm gonna actually try to do this and see if we can keep the thing, and then maybe, you know, if I want to share a deck with somebody in the future, I can reuse this box. So that's awesome because it's plastic, it's bubble wrap and all that, and there we already have it open. That is the coolest packaging I've ever seen in kind of a mailer like this. You know, it's not the standard of like the Mystic Madness Tarot, the Journey to Oz and Wonderland that I opened a couple weeks ago, because that box is like done up on the outside, but that it's definitely useful. You can reuse it. It's an awesome little packaging thing. That's kind of exciting. But I've got the deck here. That's what we're really going to take a look at, and you can see here more bubble wrap. Let's just take a moment to enjoy the bubble wrap. I am a sucker for the sound of bubble wrap. This is like one of the best ways that I know of to relieve stress. I love bubble wrap. But, you know, that's a little bit of ASMR or AMSR or whatever it is. You know, we're not going to keep doing that. Maybe one more. Ah, yes, that sound. And we're going to set that aside, and we're not going to do that anymore. Okay, the Raven's Dream Tarot, created by MJ Cullinane. This is the 2nd edition, as you can see there on the box. I didn't get the 1st edition. I don't know if I even knew about it when it was coming out. But when I saw the chance to pre-order the 2nd edition, I was like, I have to, because this is such a unique and weird deck. And it says on the back here, the Raven's Dream Tarot is where my mysticism meets intuition, where shadows hold secrets, and where every card drawn is a step towards understanding your own journey. Thank you for supporting the first printing of the Raven's Dream Tarot. Like, that's, you know, supporting the 1st edition is why she felt called to make a 2nd edition so people could enjoy that. And the reason I really wanted this deck, the reason like it called to me, I think, was the story behind it, and she shares it on her website. I'll put the link in the description below to reach her website if this deck is still available. I'm not sure if it is or not, but her website is really cool to check out. There's so many counterfeit decks, especially of hers, that I see all the time out there, and there's a lot of different counterfeit decks. I've done a video about Temu. Wish does the same thing. It's these cheaper versions of the deck that are not made by the real creators, and they're definitely something that we don't really want to put our money on because it's not fair to the artists behind the decks. But anyway, the story on the website, on her website, is the raven was having a dream, and in this dream its foot was caught in like a trap or something like that, and the only one around to help it was a mouse. And you know, ravens, different like predatory animals, they're going to eat little creatures like that, eat the mouse. So when it came to the dream, the raven wondered if the mouse was going to actually help it, or if the mouse was going to run away in fear. But the raven woke up before that was ever concluded. So that raven had this dream, you know, the Raven's Dream Tarot, and that's what this deck is all about. That's what this deck is based on. Now the box alone, I wish you could be able to feel this deck. I don't know how to explain it, but the box itself, it's so soft. It's a really weird texture. I've never seen a deck like this that's made like this kind of texture. So the box alone is really awesome, and then just simply open it up, and there's the guidebook and everything. Guidebook, you can see a little flip through right there. There's no pictures, no of any kind, not black and white or anything, but that's awesome because that leaves more room for the meanings of the cards. And I mean, I love using my intuition and just going with whatever like comes to me, but when it comes to the person that created the deck, the artist behind it, they had thoughts about it too. So all of that is right here. And one thing I like to do, especially in my written out readings, is to share what the guidebook shares as well. So you'll have my meanings, my messages there for you when you get your written out reading, PDF format straight to your email. That's always available. But you have this, like, you have my message right there in fonts and everything, and then the message from the artist from behind, like those behind the deck, they will have their message there too, so you can see it, and that's going to be italicized so that you can see the difference between the two. So that's really cool. There's a lot of information in that, but we're not here to see the guidebook necessarily, are we? We're here to check out these awesome cards. And just from the texture of the cards, those backs, like, check out those backs, how beautiful those are. You've got the ravens flying around the center. You have the lunar moth up there. Is it lunar or luna? I don't remember, but there's the moth, there's the hare, there's a butterfly or a moth as well, and you've got all that going around. You know, upside or reverse does not matter, it's still the same. So you can do upside or, yeah, upright or reverse versions of the deck if you're a fan of reading reversals. To each their own. But we're going to set the cards. You can clearly see there the Fool Begins, and I'm going to set them over here. I'm going to look at them each one at a time. You know, you're seeing them the same time that I'm seeing them. This deck has been out, like I said, this is the 2nd edition, so you might have already seen these cards. If you enjoyed them so much and you just want to see them again, then welcome to this video. If you've never seen them before, like I said, I'm going to put the link in the description below of where you can purchase it if it is still available. If it's not, and this is so popular, then she'll most likely make a 3rd edition as well, and you can hop on that one. So here is the Fool, and you see there the fox is like dancing with the birds and everything, and the raven's beak is right there. Like, it's the one imagining this, it's seeing the fox dancing, so that's really unique and interesting. And there's a bird right there as well. The octopus is on the Magician card, and it kind of, that's an awesome take on the Magician, because octopi, is it octopuses or octopi? Either way, like, they're such talented creatures, such intelligent creatures, just like the raven. And it has all this intelligence right there. It has the pentacle, it has the sword, it has the cup, and it has this stick that could be representing of the wand. So you have that energy. I have everything I need to work my magic because I've taken that initial leap into my dreams, and I'm ready for whatever comes. The High Priestess, beautiful coloring of the High Priestess. I love that energy of the purple and everything. And has the raven is like looking up at the sky. It's saying, I can trust my intuition. I can trust myself. There's the intelligence of a spider over here on the left. You got the lunar moth going up to the sky, reminding you to trust your emotions, trust your intuition, trust logic and everything, and learn from the past to open up those secrets and really trust your intuition as you go after your dreams. And you even have the pomegranate down here and a snake, because that snake is shedding the past. It's transforming, shedding its skin so it can begin anew. Empress, the number of the card of creativity and creation itself, is next. You can see there all the little raven's beaks. I'm going to assume those little raven's beaks, they're not black, so they might not be, but you've got the raven there, like pointing down towards the egg. You know, she's birthing life. The mother card, or the mother archetype of the tarot. So you have that energy of the raven as the mother, focusing on her new creation, showing it love, showing it attention, so that they can be born and they can create lives of their own. Emperor is next, so you have the feminine energy of the Empress right there. And I like how these two are facing each other, because the Empress and the Emperor go hand in hand. That creativity and creation itself is how you create that strong foundation. So you have the Emperor there, like, facing the Empress, saying, you know, I'm going to protect you, I'm going to take care of you. Together we are creating this strong foundation and this life. And it's got all those little rams down there, those male sheep, because, you know, Emperor is astrologically connected to Aries, and that is the sign of the ram. The Hierophant is next, and you can see there the ravens down here on the left, the rabbits running through the field and the snow. You've got all the wolves, so there's a danger there, but there's a higher calling at the same time. You have all that energy of, like, the Celtic things that came from the past, that came from history, that makes us, like, have this higher belief in a higher power. Now, personally, I'm not a fan of the Hierophant. We know this. I've told you this before probably. I don't like that whole meaning of a structured religion. I like seeing this 5, you know, the number of change and transformation, as the power to change our lives for the better. Having that confidence, that faith in ourselves, that pack that just believes in us and just follows us, and, you know, the ones that, you know, trust us. We have that behind our backs, and we can lead ourselves to where we want to be. Lovers is next, so you kind of have the Empress and the Emperor there. They're creating new life, they're coming together. You have that 6, that's the number of the lovers, obviously, and self-reflection. And you have this illustration here, like them on a bird bath, and there's even a dead mouse there. So they've got this, like, they've worked hard to bring this together so they can enjoy the, you know, the fruits of their labor and enjoy this meal together. It kind of reminds me of Lady and the Tramp at Disney, when they have that little piece of spaghetti and they're sucking their lips up together. Maybe they'll do that with the mouse tail. So you have that illustration there of the lovers. The Chariot is next. awesome illustration of the chariot taking control, taking the reins, taking the horns, you know, the bull by the horns, and flying. You can see there it's attached, like the raven has the legs attached to the bull, and it's kind of letting the bull pull it forward. So like embracing your own chariot. Fire and passion are right there, because you've got the fire on the horns, and you have that energy of passion, our passion for what we're doing, fueling our way forward. So there's the chariot. Strength is next, and you have the lion there, and the raven kind of has its head up to the raven, or up to the lion. You know, they're putting their heads together. They're finding that trust in one another. So you have that energy of having trust in yourself, facing your inner demons, facing your inner animal, and having just this love for animals as well. That's right here too. Having compassion for animals as well as our fellow man. That takes strength as much as everything else does. The hermit is next. Now, interesting, I do not see a raven in this illustration. I see him in here in the background. We'll get that in a minute. But I can see here, like, this is a falcon or an eagle or something. It's not the same coloring as a raven, but it's still, it has that time of solitude. There's that fire burning in the background. There's the cave that they're standing in, the leap that they can take. Once they take that opportunity, once they learn from the experiences and learn from the past, they're able to begin again and have that, you know, that time of solitude is how they're going to know what they want to leap into next. Now the hare, and I want to say March Hare, I'm way too into Alice in Wonderland and just Wizard of Oz anymore. But we have like the hare, the rabbit right here as the Wheel of Fortune. You got the wheel down here. You know, you take in a bite of the apple. You've got that illustration right there. So it's like Adam and Eve of Christianity, like the Bible. You have that energy of like Adam and Eve took that bite of the apple. They had to step out of the Garden of Eden, so it was a new opportunity, a new chapter. It might not have been that great, obviously, because you're in the Garden of Eden, and then, you know, that God tells you have to leave, so that's not fun. But the bite of the apple, you know, that's the I'm taking a bite out of this new opportunity. I'm taking a risk. I'm taking a chance, and I'm hopping into the next chapter of my story. So then you have to be fair to yourself and balanced, and look how much balance is going on in this illustration. You've got the awesome buck right there with a beautiful owl sitting on top of its head. The raven is sitting on top of the owl's head, and you've got a bat all the way at the top ready to fly. So once you're fair to yourself, fair to others and everything, you know, you can work together and you can create something that you want. You can create fairness and balance in your life, because that balance and that fairness, like everything, starts from within. So you have justice right there, followed by the hanged man is next. Not a fantastic illustration there. I don't like the fact that the snake is like holding the raven prisoner, but hey, that's life, you know. Maybe they're not actually hurting each other. Maybe the raven was like, hey, well, this is the raven's dream, so maybe he was like, hey, I want to try to like hang upside down from a tree. Can you help me do it? And the snake's like, yeah, sure. Let me just wrap myself around you so that you won't fall when you try to hang upside down from a tree. So there's the hanged man. Death is next, and you know, death's never a like fun illustration necessarily, because there's death in it, but you have the illustration here like of the raven and the bones and everything within it, and it rising above it, rising from the thing, from the past and the ending, and being reborn like the phoenix rising from the ashes. And that's the beauty of death, is like every ending, every death is another beginning, if we're just able to see that, we're able to let things go and find the ability and the confidence to keep going and to begin again. Next up, we have temperance, and you have the illustration here of all the flowers, everything that's growing. And the raven down on the ground is taking that drink of water from the raven flying above, reminding us of the importance of learning from where we've been and applying that knowledge so that we can begin again. We've let the past stay in the past, but we've learned the lessons of that past, which gives us the temperance, gives us the alchemist of the tarot, taking what we've learned and applying it to the unknown. And you have that like embracing our emotions, not letting them overwhelm us, but letting them flow through us so we can be excited about what the future holds. Now, if we're not excited about what the future holds and we start fearing it and we don't want to move forward, well, that's where the devil comes in. That's where we start not embracing our power, not believing that we have what it takes to succeed, and just, you know, letting the vices and addictions hold us prisoner because we're scared of where the future might take us. With temperance, we have to temper that doubt. We have to believe in ourselves and put those vices and addictions away so that we can create the lives that we truly want to live. And I always want to point out with the devil, it's a very, very, very positive card. Devil spelled backwards is lived. So you have to embrace that side of yourself, embrace that inner devil in order to live your best life. Next up after the devil, of course, is the most feared card of the tarot, the Tower. And this is a really, really sad illustration, and it's very much true. I mean, it's when it comes to the Tower, it's not things that we necessarily even expect. We're not ready for them. We're not prepared for them, but they're going to occur whether we want them to or not. And a forest fire, you know, that can occur from a simple thing as a lightning strike, striking a tree in the middle of the forest. It can start as much as like someone throwing a cigarette butt on the ground when the ground's dry. Forest fires happen all the time, and it's devastating. But you have to, like, even when it comes to forest fires and everything, a lot of times there's things called controlled burns, and you have to, like, let it burn so you can start over. So that's kind of like a positive thing about the Tower, I guess, because you can learn from the past. Those things that have burned down, you have those memories on them so you can rebuild. The star does follow after the Tower in every single major arcana sequence, and you have that illustration right here, because sometimes when all seems lost, when the Tower comes crashing down, then all you have is hope. Hope is all that remains. So you have that illustration of the star right there saying the power is yours. You've got that lessons, those knowledges of the past, and it's helping you embrace your star power in the future, or starting to embrace your star power in the present, so that you can create the life that you want and make those dreams of yours a reality. And there is the moon, the card of trusting those dreams. It's a crisis of faith a lot of times too, because you don't trust that subconscious part of yourself. You don't trust that you can achieve those dreams. Like the doubt, like they've left it behind, the skeletons there, the skeletons of the doubt that has held them back and held them prisoner before, but they're taking flight. They're taking flight by the moon. They're trusting their intuition, trusting their emotions, and flying where the rest of the ravens go, to their dreams and what they want to achieve. And then we have the illustration of the sun. Oh my gosh, and I love this illustration. This looks exactly like my business cards. Hold on, I want to show you that. Like really, that illustration, that fire, that sun coming out, that's quite literally what I have on my business card. I love this. This is so cool, because this really reminds me of like my business and how much like I freaking love crows and ravens. But that fire, that passion, that enthusiasm, that excitement, you know, even in the middle of the desert, that positivity and that sun's going to help you create the life that you want. 1 and 9, that combines the magician with the hermit, that says you spent that time in solitude. You began believing in yourself. You have compassion for yourself, and you trust your intuition, having learned the lessons of your past. Now, judgment follows the sun in the major arcana, and we have that illustration right there. Beautiful, beautiful illustration. When it comes to artistry, like no one can create animals and draw animals probably as well as MJ Cullinane can, because you've got the Crow Tarot there, beautiful illustrations. You've got the Guardians of the Night Tarot. You know, there's so many more that she's created, and she draws this all on her own. It's not AI or anything like that. She's so gifted and talented. So judgment is here, that beautiful illustration. Look at all that's died, all that you're rising above. You forgive that past, and even the hummingbirds say, fly away with us, go away from the darkness, find South America, enjoy all the flowers and all the fruits and everything like that. Just fly free of that past, having learned the lessons of it, so that you can find and achieve the success of the world. And there is the world. So we've completed the major arcana sequence. You got that illustration right there, the success of the buck, the ravens enjoying that and seeing that dream as well. So not only are they like in their own dreams, it's like they're visiting the dreams of others as well and helping them succeed. And that is one thing that's like really important when it comes to our individual lives, just being there for others, inspiring others to believe in themselves too. It makes the world a better place for all. Next up, we have the Suit of Wands, and you have the Ace of Wands right here, and you can see that illustration. You got the desert back there, which is reminding us of that beautiful sun illustration. The fire and passion is moving us forward. Two of Wands, the should I stay or should I go card, as I like to call it, doesn't necessarily mean that you have to stay where you are, or even if you're thinking about going somewhere new. It just means, do I want to stay here in my comfort zone, or do I want to take a chance and try something new? You know, do I want to follow my passion? So this is the illustration of the Two of Wands, and that reminds me of a jack-o'-lantern back there. It just looks, the sun looks like a jack-o'-lantern to me. Three of Wands, we have that illustration right here. You can see the ravens flying up. It's following that passion. It's made the choice, and it knows where it wants to go next. You have that illustration, and a little nod to the Aries energy here, because the 2, 3, and 4 of the tarot, or of the Suit of Wands, is always astrologically connected to Aries. 2 would be the first deacon, 3 would be the second deacon, and the 4 would be the third deacon. So you have those little rams up there of that illustration of letting our freak flags fly and just following that passion, whichever choice you make, and letting that passion lead us to creating a strong foundation that we're passionate about. Like, beautiful illustration. I love doing videos like this because you actually get to hear me how much I enjoy seeing these different illustrations. This is why I love to collect tarot decks, because they're always so unique and so beautiful. And look how beautiful this family is with their little eggs here. I've got to look this up now because I'm really curious if raven eggs are actually blue. I kind of assume they were, actually, come to think of it, I never thought of it before, but maybe like white eggs like a chicken or something. But that's definitely something that I want to look up now, because those look like robin eggs to me. But hey, they're happy about it. It's their happy family. It's their strong foundation. They work together to create this passion. So if they're passionate about those eggs, then I am too. So there's the Four of Wands. Five of Wands, you have this illustration right here. You got all those different ravens fighting with each other, and you got the crab in the mix too. So that's kind of giving me like Cancer vibes, like the astrological symbol of Cancer, because that crab, you know, Cancer crab. But that illustration, it's conflicts, like other people's passions conflicting with our own, not believing in ourselves enough. It might even be our own inner doubt causing us to not believe in our passions. Six of Wands, celebrating our victories, and you can see a lot of victories there, a lot of moths and everything, that maybe the raven is happy that they didn't eat all those moths. That might be why they feel like they've won, because they didn't have to eat them all. Or maybe they have eaten them all and that's why they're all falling to the ground. I don't know. But celebrating your victories, all those victories, no matter how small, that's how I see the Six of Wands. And we have that illustration right there. Seven of Wands, the raven standing there on like a log or something, and you've got the crab right there and the octopus coming up, defending what you're passionate about against the ones that don't believe in you. So very much like those people in the or in the ravens in the Five of Wands right there. The Seven of Wands says you're not letting them get to you. You're going to overcome those obstacles. You're going to get behind the wheel of your chariot and you're going to go for your passion, because it's what you're passionate about. You're going to let that inner fire lead your way and not let the haters stand in your way. Eight of Wands, life moving quickly, energy moving quickly, because you've let that passion fly. So you can see there that raven, he started out, he had that passion, he had that fire, he made the choice to follow it. He created this strong foundation with it. He fought the haters. He didn't give in to the immaturity of like everybody saying you can't do this. He celebrated all those little victories that he's achieved, and then he's overcome the obstacles of people like not believing in him. And then the Eight of Wands, he's got his group, he's got his power, he's got his fire, and he's going after his dreams, which seem to be all those like rams and all those sheep down there. He wants to maybe attack them and eat them. I think those might be a little bit too big for ravens to eat, but nonetheless they have their passion and they're letting it fuel their fire and making life move more quickly. Nine of Wands, we have that illustration right here, a card of feeling the need to defend what we have, and you have the birds here. This looks like a hawk to me. This looks like a phoenix to me, but you have the illustration here like the mother raven defending what she's passionate about, defending those eggs. Those eggs have seemed to turn different colors. Maybe that's what happens when they first come out. They're really dark blue or really turquoise, and then as they grow they turn white or something like that. I don't know. I don't like study bird eggs or anything like that, but it's definitely something to ponder and think about. But you have that illustration there, the raven like defending what lights her inner fire, you know, feeling the need to look over her shoulder, because, you know, experiences happen. We follow our passions in the past. They didn't pan out. People didn't agree with us. Other people, like, we have to defend what we're doing. We have to look over our shoulders. But as it's the minor arcana, it's a message that you don't have to do this forever. Eventually, those eggs are going to hatch. Those little ravens are going to grow, and they're going to be able to defend themselves. Ten of Wands, the card of feeling overwhelmed by all the passions that we have. You know, too many irons in the fire. You have this illustration here, and it's like it's taking control. That octopus has kind of been there the entire time. It's threatened it. It's threatened to take over the raven. It's threatened to pull it under to the ocean of emotion and make them doubt themselves. So the raven is catching that octopus that seems to be fighting, taking control, and not feeling overwhelmed by everything that's going on. Or maybe because this is the card of feeling overwhelmed, it's very overwhelmed by what's going on, because I mean there is a giant whale right there. That could be terrifying. Even as a human, you know, much bigger than a raven, that would still be terrifying to see, I think. Up next we have the court cards of the pages, or of the wand suit. Pages up first, and you have this illustration here. We get the cards apart. Beautiful illustration. You have the tiger. Love tigers. Tigers are so cool. And you had the fish, the page, he's kind of like eating the fish, or maybe he's giving it to the tiger because he wants to make friends with the tiger, because, you know, if a raven has a friend that's a tiger, it's kind of safer than it was without it. Following the page is the knight, and the knight there is making friends with a mountain lion. So this is kind of also, you have the tiger and you have the mountain lion, you know, Cats and crows, those are my two favorite animals in the world. And, you know, ravens and crows, very similar. So you have this illustration of the mountain lion, you know, they're talking to each other. This knight that follows his passion. Right now, he's passionate about talking to this mountain lion. So you have that illustration. Queen is up next, the creative queen of the tarot, and you have it flying above the cauldron there, taking flight, because they've created the life that they're passionate about. They have compassion for themselves. You know, the pink there relating to feminine energy. They've thought everything through, and now they can really lead themselves to where they want to be with the King of Wands and have that control, not being afraid to talk to a bear if they want. But this is the one that has all the stories, the king that has all the stories, because he's traveled the world and everything. And look how far this raven has come in its story. It's risen above the past. It's taken that fire and let that fire fuel them to creating so many different stories, so many different dreams. And it's those stories and dreams of that are told to others that can inspire them to follow their own passions. Next up, we had the Suit of Cups. Beautiful, beautiful illustration of the ace right there with all the lotuses and everything. The Two of Cups, emotionally fulfilling partnerships. You can see there the crow has made friends with the white crow, so that's an awesome take. You know, get along. Just because you're not the same color doesn't mean you can't be friends. You're still related. You've still got the same blood. Yeah, I've heard so many stories about ravens and crows just picking on the white ones because, you know, they don't look the same, and that's wrong. We can learn from them. We also don't need to be doing that kind of stuff. This is 2024. Just get along already. So there's the emotionally fulfilling partnerships. Three of Cups, they're all working together as it rains so that they can stay dry, maybe picking the water or drying themselves off together. Four of Cups, the card of boredom, because, you know, you got so much in your life, you're just like, I'm tired of it. I don't know what else I want. So they're kind of reflecting on that past. They're reflecting on the life that they have, and they have all those vines around it because it's just like focused on that, focused on all that they already have, and they don't see what else life has to offer. Five of Cups is up next when you're really just focused on all the sadness of the past and you're not able to look forward. So you can see there, like, it's sad. It's got the tear crying down. It's got all the crows there. Perhaps all the babies that were eaten by the, what was it, the phoenix and the hawk or something that was after them. In the other illustration, I think it was the Nine of Wands. Yeah. So that illustration, maybe they lost all those babies, but they still have a baby over here. So focus on the one that you have. Focus on the happiness that you do have, and stop giving your precious energy to the sadness that of what's been lost. Six of Cups is next, and you have that illustration there. Card of nostalgia, of reflecting on the past, all the things that brought you joy, or even all the things that didn't bring you joy. You have that energy here, so you can learn from that past. Remember, 6 is the number of self-reflection. So reflecting on that past, all the things that brought you joy, even all the things that didn't, there's lessons to be learned. So then you can make the important choices that you want to in life, and you see all the different choices there. Some might keep the raven prisoner, some might transform their lives, some might fill their hearts with joy, and some might stab them with a giant pair of antlers, because there's a the buck. Yeah, I hope that's not the case. You know, there was that illustration of it, I think it was The World, wasn't it, where the raven was sitting on top of the antlers. So there's like success and wealth waiting, that feeling on top of the world. Or even some of those choices might make you feel like a prisoner. So it's important to learn from the past, learn those lessons of the times that were an emotional effect on you, even good or bad. Learning those lessons can help you make the choices that you need to, and then you can leave behind what no longer emotionally serves you, so you can find what does. You can see there, it's riding on the past, it's riding on what's been gone, because it has dreams of what remains or what is out there for them. So let go of the past, let go what no longer emotionally satisfies you, so you can find what emotionally does. The Nine of Cups is the wish card of the tarot, and you can see there the raven's in its element. It's even got peacock feathers as its tail right there. So it says, you know, if I want to be a peacock, I can be a peacock. I'm going to go after my dreams. I trust myself. I'm emotionally invested in this. And I've learned from the past, all those lessons learned. I've spent that time in solitude. Remember, 9 is the number of the hermit. So I'm taking those lessons and I'm applying it to the present so that I can begin making my wishes come true. Wow, look at the rainbows of this illustration, the 10 of Cups. Beautiful, beautiful illustration there, the happy family card. And it kind of says there's the two ravens. They've got their heads mixed together. Like, you know, that's the mother, father. And they have all the little babies up here in the tree. And they're even friends. They're even family with the tree, with the environment and everything. And the wolves that go across. So very happy, positive card, rainbows and everything. All the experiences of the past, all the lessons learned. They've been accepted because they feel complete and whole and emotionally fulfilled. Page of Cups is next, and you have that fox there with the 2 ravens. I love that illustration. And there's the fish again, because you know ravens like to eat fish. Birds in general, they like to eat fish, I think. At least some of them do. We have a heron, I think. I think it's a heron. It might not be, but it's a giant gray bird that comes here like every spring. It's always standing there in the creek like looking for fish. So birds and fish, they kind of go hand in hand. And that fox there, you know, embracing your inner child. That fox is very much like a baby fox. What do you call him? A foxling? That sounds cute, but I don't think fox cub, I think, is right. But you have that illustration there, like embracing your inner child. Not being afraid to like just be weird, be different, and emotionally just let your emotions lead you to be getting something you really love. Knight of Cups, they're the soldier of the ravens, falling in love with the flamingo, it seems, giving them kisses. So it says, you know, follow your heart, let it lead you to where you want to be, even if you're different species or something like that. When it comes to the animals, doesn't matter. If your hearts are both invested in it, follow that heart and let it lead you to where you want to be. Queen of Cups, the most intuitive queen of the court. See there, like the raven is part of the otter. So it kind of says like you allowed yourself to have fun. You had that emotional attachment, that emotional investment, and you're letting that lead you to creating a life that you truly love. Letting love lead your way forward. And then you can trust your heart. Spread the, what did Moses do? Split the seas or something like that, but you're between the ocean of emotion. You're not letting the emotions overwhelm you, so you're letting your heart lead you to creating and leading a life that you truly love and enjoy. That is the suit of cups. We have the suit of the mind, or the suit of swords, up next. And this illustration here, the ace of swords begins with an owl. I honestly, as I look, I do not see the raven in it, but that's really interesting that the owl is there too. And you have that trust your mind, and owls definitely are the one of the wisest creatures in the world. You know, that's why they're considered like the spirit animal of wisdom. Shout out to my good friend Wise Owl Tarot right here, because she's definitely one of the most intelligent and intuitive people I know. She also resides in Washington State, along with the person that created this deck, MJ Cullinane. So very, very wise and talented people reside in the state of Washington. Two of Swords is right here, and you can see there the raven has taken its heart out. It's not letting its heart overwhelm them or focus on that, because this is the suit of the mind. So there's choices that it has to make. It's not letting its heart overwhelm it, but it's taking that time to think of them logically. Three of Swords, the card of heartbreak and betrayal. You can see there that one's crying. It's all upset because that one seems to be eating the insides of another raven. So that's the heartbreak and betrayal. Come in many different forms. It kind of, like it says betrayal, you think of like infidelity or something in a relationship. But that 3 energy, and I always want to point this out, yes, this is a sad, depressing card. Heartbreak, betrayal, we don't enjoy that, the tears that come with it. But when you take your heart out of the equation, when you just let your mind sit there, you let your mind think about it for a minute, you can learn what that experience has to teach you, and you can use that pain to create something better than you ever had before, by not letting your emotions overwhelm you. The 4 of Swords, the card of rest and reflection. You have that the illustration right here, and the raven is down here inside of the ground. It's got the tree coming down. All the other ravens are flying, but that raven's not ready to fly. It's taking that time to learn from where it's been. And here we are in the suit of swords, and we've gone through all of these cards so far, all of these experiences of the raven's dream. So now it's taking that time to reflect on it, so it can really trust its mind and trust itself to see where they're going to go next. 5 of Swords, this is the victor or the victim card. So maybe this is what they're reflecting on. All those experiences of their past when they felt like victims in their lives. How can they change their lives for the better and start seeing themselves as the victor? So there's the illustration of the 5 of Swords. 6 of Swords, leaving the past behind, leaving the stress behind to find a time of peace and harmony. There, the heart again is down in the ocean of emotion. It's not letting that pain of that heartbreak and betrayal, all of those experiences, it's not letting those emotions overwhelm them. It's taking control and driving, floating. Yeah, you can drive a boat. Driving over the ocean of emotions so that you can create the life that you want. Create that peace and harmony that you deserve. 7 of Swords is next, and you have that illustration right here, the Thief card of the tarot. And you can see it is planning on having, like, being mean to the other raven, it seems, because that raven's down there getting the fish. The fox is up there watching, getting ready to eat that lunar moth. And the raven in the center has this string that it's going to pull on to pull that box down and take catch that raven. I don't know what it plans on doing with that raven, but it's stealing that confidence or stealing that raven's fish, because well, he's the one that had the fish in the first place, but he's just taking control of that. And the Seven of Swords, as it is the suit of the mind, it's always a reminder that the thieves in our lives might not be someone else. It might be our own minds working against us. The Eight of Swords is the card of feeling a prisoner to those thoughts in our minds, perhaps because we've stolen our own confidence, or life has stolen our confidence. So you have this feeling like prisoner in our lives, feeling trapped, and the bear there's yelling because it is. The raven here is trapped in these claws, maybe these talons, or maybe even teeth or something like that. It's found itself by being a prisoner. But again, suited the mind, the only prisoner we might be to is the own doubt in our minds. Nine of Swords is next, the card of staying awake because our dreams are terrifying us. You know, the card of nightmares, lying awake at night and worrying about them. So all these experiences, all these dreams, definitely with all these illustrations, it could be quite terrifying. So the raven's there got his eye wide open. That's the only illustration I've seen of like the raven with his eye like really open. So you have that illustration and that fear of transformation. That's what I'm seeing with these moths and everything here. Like transforming, letting whatever's not helping us anymore, whatever's causing our minds to just ruminate and cause us to want to give up and throw in the towel. The raven's like facing that head on. And then we have the Ten of Swords, which is quite literally the card of wanting to lie down and die. Oh, and not a pretty card, not a good illustration. Those hornets are deadly. Those hornets are dangerous. You see them all around there stabbing that raven. So yeah, he did definitely have much to fear. So those are not in fact moths, those are hornets. So yes, that could be terrifying. But if this is only a dream, if this is only our minds working against us, then we can overcome that. You know, 10, Wheel of Fortune, go back to that card. Let this chapter of doubt, let this chapter of anxiety, this fear, this pain die so that we can begin again. We can do something better, spin the wheel and make the next chapter better than we ever had before. Page of Swords is up next, and you have that illustration right there. The page like yelling up to the other ones, I'm ready to trust my intuition, I'm ready to trust my mind. I have the useful information I need to make my future what I want it to be. We have the Knight of Swords, the raccoon there is offering something to the raven. So it's like the chaos that you find in life, you know, if you learn from others and take that knowledge and wisdom, the useful information we talked about with the Page of Swords, then we can overcome the obstacles that stand in our way and then learn and become the queens of our stories, knowing that the past cannot hurt us anymore, and learning from that pain so that we can make our futures what we want them to be. Feel in control and lead in our lives because we trust our minds. Stay logical, stay present, stay focused. That's what the King of Swords is all about. The Vulcans of the Star Trek universe is who I always relate to the King of Swords, because they did have emotions, but they turned them off because they were overwhelming them. So there in the hourglass is the raven's heart, saying he's just trusting his mind and logic to lead his way forward. Pentacles is up next, the last suit of the tarot. And we have the Ace right there with the tree, new beginnings in the environment. Two of Pentacles, you've got two things balancing, two dreams perhaps, work and play, having to balance those things together so that you can create the tree, the life that you want, that environment that you want, that comfortable, safe thing. Asking for advice or assistance from others. So he's got all those fireflies and everything. He's got that bird right there that's helping him create. So you can get that advice and just inspiration from others perhaps. Four of Pentacles is next, holding on to your money for a rainy day. Or in the raven's case, holding all those fish and keeping the seagulls from stealing them so you'll have something to eat later if you don't feel like going fishing again. Five of Pentacles is the card of feeling down on your luck. Or just like financial loss and stuff like that, or the fear of it. So that raven down here is very sad. It seems to be down on its luck, but it could follow these other ravens to the sky. It could find those fish. If it had just saved its money, like the Four of Pentacles said, then it would not be in this feeling position of feeling down on its luck. And there's the mouse saying, you know, you might be down on your luck right now, but now you've met people that know what that's like. You met other animals that know what it's like, and you're not alone. Even when you're feeling down on your luck, never forget that you're not alone in this. Other people have been there too, and this is a 5, so it says you have the power to change your life for the better, to transform it. Even if you feel down on your luck now, the future can be better. You know, other people might share with you. 6 of Pentacles energy, 6, sharing is caring. Other people might share with you, and then once you've made a name for yourself, once you picked yourself back up and you've made that money, then you can share that money with others as well. So all of those or all those fish that they saved up, they seem to be like pouring it here, sharing it with the other ravens. 7 of Pentacles is up next, and you have this illustration right here. It's a card of patience, and you can see that very much in this illustration, because all the fish are going into the traps. So then he just has to check the traps and wait until the fish are ready to take out. 8 of Pentacles, the card of hard work that, you know, leads us to the success and wealth. You see there, he's still trying to fish. He's getting his fruits of his labor. He's getting that dinner he wants to eat, and he's harpooning them or stabbing them so that he can catch them. That hard work and dedication, that's how he got the ones in the first place. That's how he gained it. So whatever we are working to perfect, spending that time to perfect it, spending that time to keep growing it and doing it so we get better at it. That's the energy of the 8 of Pentacles. And once we do all that hard work and effort, well, then we become the financially successful individuals of the 9 of Pentacles, and we're able to buy whatever we want, even if it's a crazy fancy headdress to transform our faces to go from a raven to a strange looking peacock. Like, the raven knows what it wants to achieve. It's worked hard, it's perfected it, and it's able to achieve it now. Up next, we have the 10 of Pentacles, the completion of the suit of material happiness and earthly fulfillment. You have a pine cone there, and all the potential that comes with the pine cone. You see all those seeds and everything. So all those fruits of your labor, all the things that you've worked to achieve, it's going to be appreciated for generations to come, because those seeds, they're going to grow into something more. Page of Pentacles, that focus on new beginnings, that focus on what you want to achieve. You've got the Ouroboros right there, you know, the keys to the universe, that everything that has occurred will occur. I've said that in videos before, but you have that illustration, that focus on it, what you want to create, seeing yourself achieving it. Then you soldier on, no matter how boring and mundane the routine might be. But if you're riding on an elephant, come on, that's not going to be boring at all. At least I don't think so. I did so when I was a kid. I don't, like, it's not fair to animals or anything like that, especially elephants, to make people ride them, but, you know, they're so big, we probably didn't weigh much. I did it when I was a kid at, like, a circus show or something like that. I was really little. But you have that illustration of the Knight of Pentacles, that hard work and effort, that focus that you originally began with, willing to put in the work and effort, no matter how boring it might be, so that you can create the life that you want, become the queen of your story, and be able to share that wealth with others. And, of course, last but not least, the King, appreciating and having those fruits of labor, sitting and enjoying it. That is the dream of the raven. That is the dream of many, many of us, finding that success of the world so that we can feel comfortable and content in our earthly existences. That is the Raven's Dream second edition of second edition tarot. You got the box there. Seriously, this box just feels so awesome and so soft. And you've got the guidebook there. As always, if you want a reading with this deck or any deck in my collection, then feel free to comment on this video. Send me a message on any of my socials. All that will be in the link below. This deck is available for personal readings. Any deck in my collection is, to be honest with you. So if you're interested in that, feel free to leave me a message. As always, I really want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm definitely excited to add this deck to my collection. It's just beautiful and it feels amazing. Seriously, whatever printer company she uses, I don't know which one it is, but it's definitely a fantastic company to work with, because the cards just feel awesome. The box itself feels awesome. So that is the Raven's Dream Tarot. I hope you enjoyed the video and you enjoyed seeing all the cards. I definitely did, especially that sun. That sun was just really cool because it matched my business card so much. But thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again in the next one.